this is Tina with Two Chicks and a Cricket, and this is our Sunday calendar series, and we're doing September, and this is the paper that I'm going to use, and I have my good camera hooked up, and I'm going to show you some stuff on my Gypsy today. So let's get started, and I'll get everything over here, and we'll come back, and I'll show you what's going on today. Okay, so here we are with my Gypsy, and I wanted to show you guys before I got started on my actual layout what I've done on my Gypsy. And so this is just, I did this last night when, before I went to bed. I'd kind of been thinking about the layout and I couldn't get in here to cut anything, so I just took my Gypsy and I knew kind of what I wanted to do, and so I saved it on here. So I'm just going to open this up and I'm going to show you guys a couple of the things I did. Here is one of the things I did. I'm using Doodle Charm and Locker Talk for this particular, hold on one second. Oops. For this particular layout. And so here, because I do 3 calendars, so here I've taken the bus from Doodle Charm and I flipped it so it's pointing that direction, because that's how I want it on my layout. And then this is just the first layer, and then this is it blacked out. So then the other one I did was this one, and I'm going to cut some scissors, and I kind of have these placed on my mat because I'm going to use some different colors. So this is a really great feature with your Gypsy. I'm going to cut the base of these scissors, and this is from Locker Talk, and I'm going to cut the base of these scissors in silver or gray, and then I'm going to cut the tops of the scissors in red. So here's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be cutting in red, and then I have some other stuff on my mat that I'll be cutting in different colors. So when I get all my stuff, when I get my paper laid out on my mat, I'll show you guys how that looks. Alright, so I am doing September, and this layout is going to be a school layout. My daughter is going to be starting preschool this year in September, and so this is going to be a school layout, and I'll put, it's just going to be a single picture. I'm going to have Wendy take school pictures of her, and then I'll put her school picture on here, and since these are going to her grandparents and stuff, it'll be sentimental for them. So this layout, I actually scrap lifted, so I don't want anybody to get offended or say, you know, whatever, so I just want to say, like, I scrap lifted this original idea from my pink stamper. Her, I saw her layer the paper like this and kind of use a similar idea. So this is just, the calendars are about 11 3/4 by 11 1/2. So I've started out with a yellow piece of paper down here. And then this is just it's an 11 3/4. It goes all the way to the top, and then it's 6 inches across. So I just cut the 12 by 12 piece of paper in half, and then I just trimmed it to fit the calendar. And then this piece is a 6-inch piece across, and then I just trimmed a little bit more. So it's like, I think it's like an 11-inch piece, and that's just, they're gonna layer just like this. So I'm gonna glue this down, and then we'll do the next step. Okay, so the one thing I really like about this layering is it's really, really simple and it looks really nice. And so I've just taken a coordinating orange, and this is a 5x7 photo mat, and I'm going to put that right here. It's okay. Everything's okay. So I cut this out from Doodle Charm, and it's going to go right here. And then I have a journaling block that I'm going to put right here, or maybe even right here. And then I have some other stuff to add to the side of this. And that I'm going to show you cutting on the Cricut. And then I also have up here, it's going to say preschool. And there's a little phrase on Blocker Talk that says preschool. This stuff down, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what else I have. I wanted to show you what I did to spruce up the bus. I, usually like all the layers that the Cricut does, but this particular one, Doodle Charm, doesn't have a huge amount of layers to it. So what I did is I cut out a background in blackout. And what that means is when you cut something out on your Cricut that is blackout, it means it's going to cut the exact same shape, but wherever your holes are or your lines are, it's going to black it out. So a shadow, if you cut it out with a shadow, it would leave a little bit around the edge. It'd cut it slightly bigger to leave a shadow. So I cut one out in blackout, and I cut one out regular. And then I'm just going to take a black marker and where some of these lines are, I'm just going to give them a little bit of definition with the black marker, just to kind of show that maybe there would be a layer there. If I wanted to on my Gypsy, I could use the hide feature on it and create some of the layers, but this particular calendar page has already turned out to be a lot more work than I thought with my original idea. So I kind of wanted to keep it more simple. So here's where the lines are, and then just right on the bottoms here, I'm adding a little bit. And then also I'm going to add some stitching, faux stitching. And then I'm just going to use some quick dry adhesive. I really love this adhesive. Thing is, I'm going to take my paper piercer and I'm going to poke holes right in the middle of these wheels. And then I just have some silver brads that I'm going to use. and I'll set this aside and let it dry. And then next we'll see how my layout is finishing up. Okay, so here we are at my Cricut, and I just wanted to show you guys, I'm just gonna cut, that's the baby. She's mad that I'm not in her sight. So we'll just have to listen to that. So this, I have my Gypsy, and I told you guys I had layered a bunch of stuff onto my mat and I was gonna cut it. So this is how it looks on my Gypsy, and I'm getting ready to cut, but I just wanted to give you guys a really quick tip about when you're layering stuff on your mat. I'm not really good at proportion size, like knowing exactly. So I usually just put it in the squares. Like when you look at your mat, when there's not paper on it, the darker lines on here cut your mat into 4. So what I usually do is that's how I place all my items, is I just place them in the 4 squares, and then that way it helps me to know the proportion size better. So I'm just going to go on my Gypsy, and I'm going to go to the cut, and then I'm going to load my mat. And it's in there. And then let's back up so we can see what we're doing. And then I'm going to multi-cut twice because some of this paper is a little thicker. So then I'm just going to cut. I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to cut. My speed and my pressure and my blade depth are all on high. I'm going to bring you over here really quickly and show you a little bit of the finished product. So I have my calendar page, and I guess that's as good as angle as I'm going to get. I got to hurry. So my journaling block is going to go here, and I'm going to try to do some stuff with the journaling on the computer that, if it's successful, I'll show you guys. So here's all my stuff that cut out on my Cricut. And I have a little pair of scissors right here. That I'm going to put right here. And then here is the tops to these scissors. And then I'll put a little silver brad or black brad maybe in there, and it's going to go there. And then here's a little crayon that is going to go here. And I have a little black strip to go here, and I used the hide feature on my Gypsy. I just wanted to show you guys really quickly as an afterthought the way some of these embellishments are coming out. I used the glossy effects on the top part, which was the eraser, and then I used stickles on there as a little silver part, and then I used my Stampin' Up! Marker just to write number 2, and then I also used my Stampin' Up! Marker, whoops, down here to give the pencil part a different color. So all you got to do is, you know, sometimes we don't want to cut all the layers out, or a cartridge doesn't come with layers, and so you just have to find a few great products to enhance those Cricut cuts, and it works out really great. And then that's the crayon and the little scissors. I used orange brad and my Stampin' Up! Marker just to give it some faux stitching. Just put a strip up here, and I'll cut September, and then I cut a pencil, which will have, I did the same thing. I used my hide feature, and I hid some of the features so that I could get some layers, and I'll layer that up, and I'll use a black marker and some stickles, and I'm going to put a pencil right there. Video, and tune in next week for October.